Welcome to Bowhill Estate, part of the wider Borders Estate, which is part of Buccleuch. As you can see, traditional beef and sheep hill type enterprises we run here. We're currently running 6,800 breeding ewes and another 500 suckler cows. We have diversified since 2005 into various different enterprises, one including free range eggs, 32,000 hens, 116 hinds kept for venison production, and we've also got an AD, anaerobic digester, that runs pretty well on farmyard manures and hen manures to generate electricity. It's important for us through the winter to maintain cow condition or improve cow condition. So we body condition score all our cows at housing time to give us the information to know whether they're too lean, too fat, or just right. So the gist of it is, the foundation, the start of that is to know what the quality of the silage we're feeding them is, and if the quality of the silage isn't as good, then we need to alter the ration to improve that, or to drive more energy to put those cows in a better condition for calving time if they're lean, and maybe take it off them if they're too fat. So we generally use that by doing the silage analysis and using a nutritionist to give us that advice to know fully if the silage quality is right or wrong. On top of that, to sense check or to make any minor changes to the ration I've been given, I use an AHJB spreadsheet, which is a simple job just to put the data in. So we correlate put the data in from the analysis into there, and it automatically adjusts your cow nutrition for you. So this is our silage clamp. It's this year, 2019, it's a bit more empty than we would normally expect at this time of year, so we're using some baled silage at the moment. We do generally prefer to use clamp silage due to two things, mainly cost of production generally sits about £10 a tonne cheaper in a clamp, but also the plastics that the bales create, which is a big challenge coming forward to recycle some of this stuff, and it adds another cost to the business. As the clamps are quite empty at the moment, we're actually utilising some draff from a local distillery at the moment into the diets as well. So the draff is slightly higher in protein, well, a lot higher than nearly double of what the silage would be normally, so we're able to utilise this into the diet quite well with the cattle, and which lowers again our production, the inputs of what we're putting in silage into the feedstock. So it's all about monitoring the analysis and controlling the diet to get it right. So all the grain is produced on farm. We produce roughly about 400 to 450 tonne of grain annually, which we feed into the livestock enterprises. We process the grain in two different ways. We dry about a third of it down to about 14–15%, and the rest is treated with urea, so it sits about 17% moisture. By treating with urea, what happens is you're adding the protein element within that grain, so you're increasing from 13% protein to about 17% protein, which reduces the requirement to bring protein onto the farms in the form of soya or other types. So the benefit is, the cattle are able to utilise that protein better, and it reduces the cost on farms, but also reduces the carbon footprint element of bringing feedstocks in on farm. So this is a mineral we're using on all mainly the cattle diets, but we have different minerals for different types of jobs. So this one is a general mineral, but it's also including yeast to help the cow's stomach to perform. So we're basically making sure that animals processing the food at 100% rate and keep the efficiencies up. So this is our kale field, one of about 48 hectares of kale we grow annually. We generally grow it for fattening lambs, but this year we've got a surplus of kale, so we're actually allocating to cows. This is a classic example of how integrated farm management fits into our business, where basically this crop has been grown using digestate from the AD plant, so it's all been fed by manure, no fertiliser at all into it. So these cows are basically getting a metre a day, so that's them had their allocation. They'll get another allocation today of another metre, and they'll eat that off tomorrow. And these cows then are putting manure back onto the fields ready for the next crop to come back in, which will be spring barley. And the rotation then forms part of cleaning ready for grass re-entry in 2 years' time. So the cattle feed themselves by producing the manure goes into the AD plant, and the AD plant feeds the crops. So it's a fully holistic system where it goes round in a circle.